It's a really simple meal to put together. So we'll just go through ingredients and we'll get started. So to start off with, we've got some ground beef. And we're going to add a couple of things to that and make us meatballs. I'm going to chop up 1 carrot really finely. Exactly the same with this celery. And then we're going to add a little bit of red onion. So we'll get that prepped on and then we'll start putting this meal together. So first job is we're going to make these meatballs. But we're going to add a few bits and bobs to it first. So we're going to add about half a teaspoon of white pepper. A bit of salt, not too much. About a teaspoon of garlic granules. And a little oregano or oregano. You can also add breadcrumbs to this if you want to, but you don't have to. And for an extra bit of flavour, just a light sprinkle of paprika. Then all we need to do is give this a really good mix. Then all we need to do is just grab a portion and roll them into as meatballs. Whatever size you want, but I like to go with around about that size. So we'll get these meatballs browned off. Just going to add a bit of oil to this pan and we'll cook them on quite a low temperature to start with. We're not going to completely cook them because they're going to cook once they're in that dish. As these are cooking, we'll just keep carefully turning them, trying not to break them up. You can see we're getting a nice bit of char on these now. So the meatballs are done and I've popped them to one side. So now we can make up that sauce and we're going to use the same pan because it's got all that flavour from that meat in bottom. So we'll get those onions in that were chopped up really fine. And that celery. And that carrot I grated so it'll break down a lot easier. We'll pop a bit of salt over the top of that and about a teaspoon of garlic granules, same as basil, and we'll give this a really good mix. And we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree as well. And make sure you cook that out, or it'll give that finished dish a bit of taste. And you want to cook this on a medium-low temperature. You don't want to rush it and burn anything. So you can see this is now starting to reduce a little. So I'm going to add a tin of chopped tomatoes. And then we'll keep simmering this until those tomatoes break down as well. You want to just keep simmering this to thicken it up. And I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of cumin and then a little black pepper as well. And just for a little bit of extra flavour, I've just added half a teaspoon of paprika. Now we just need to make that pasta, but what we need to do is get this pan to a rolling boil with a bit of salt added to that water, and then we'll drop these in and then we'll simmer them for about 5 minutes. Well, that pasta is now done. So we'll drain it and then we'll put this meal together. And I'm just going to pop all that pasta in the bottom. And then we can add that homemade sauce to it. And we'll give that a good mix. Just want to make sure everything has got a nice coating of that sauce. And then I'm just going to pop all these part cooked meatballs on top. And I'm just going to finish that off with a sprinkling of cheese. So there we go. Add as much cheese as you prefer and then pop that in the oven 175 for about 30 minutes. And we'll come back and take a look at that later. And that's your cheesy meatball pasta. I think we'll definitely be doing this one again.